Do you remember a couple of weeks ago when we went to Ethiopia and we had the Sora natural? Well, why don't we try the washed this week? So this week with the Sora, we had the washed one a few weeks ago, and this week we have the natural. We're going to go back to primary school because I know a lot of you people who watch in my mug, it might be your first time or you might be fairly new to coffee, and I have to keep reminding myself that I have to tell you about what is the difference between a washed and a natural process. So what we're going to show you now is a little bit of a video of what natural processing is.
Hello and welcome to the second in the coffee processing videos we have done. And today we're going to be looking at natural, or sometimes called dry processed coffee. Cherries are picked from the trees and cleaned. They're cleaned so the producer can separate the unripe, overripe and damaged cherries and remove dirt, soil, twigs and leaves. This is often done by hand using a large sieve. Any unwanted cherries are picked out from the top of the sieve. The coffee cherries are spread out in the sun, either on large concrete or brick patios or on matting raised to waist height on trestles called Indian raised beds. As the cherries dry, they are raked or turned by hand to ensure even drying and prevent mildew. This can have a big effect on the final taste in the cup and stops an over-fermentation of flavours. It may take up to 4 weeks before the cherries are dried to the optimum moisture content, depending on the weather conditions. On larger plantations, machine drying is sometimes used to speed up the process after the coffee has been pre-dried in the sun for a few days, although this is rare. The drying operation is the most important stage of the process since it affects the final quality of the green coffee. A coffee that has been over-dried will become brittle and produce too many broken beans during hulling. Broken beans are considered to be defective beans. Coffee that has not been dried sufficiently will be too moist and prone to rapid deterioration caused from attack of fungi or bacteria. The dried cherries are then sent to the mill. This is sometimes done on the farms, where hulling, sorting, grading and bagging can take place. All the outer layers of the dried cherry is removed in one step by the hulling machine. The dry method is used for about 90% of Arabica coffee produced in Brazil, and most of the coffee is produced in Ethiopia and Indonesia. Almost all Robustas are processed by this method. It is not practical in very rainy regions where the humidity of the atmosphere is too wet or where it rains frequently during the harvesting. And that's it, naturally processed coffee.
So that is natural processing. If you want to find out more about other processing methods, there are some videos on YouTube that you should definitely go search. Another thing that you can find on YouTube is Roland, but this is the place to find him in a decent state. This is Roland's Daft Fact of the Week.
I don't know anything about Ethiopia. If only I knew a man who did. I think there might be one over here. Come with me, Wobblecam. Hello, Roland.
Hello, Steve.
How are you?
Very well, Steve.
Do you have a fact about Ethiopia for me? Because I'm Ethiopian out.
Did you know that nearly all of Africa ended up under the control of European powers, apart from Ethiopia, which remains sovereign, and that's why many other African nations have used the colours of the Ethiopian flag in their own.
It's interesting, I guess.
So the part that is quickly becoming my favourite part is the Instagram competition, the competition with no prize. This week's comes from Nipsupnip. You have to say it like that, that's the law. Who's only ever posted one picture but has 320 followers, which I find really very impressive for a one bag of coffee Instagram post. But thank you very much for attaching the hashtag in my mug on the end of your Instagram post to be considered for this love and praise in this section. And please do include that hashtag. We should try some coffee. So this is the Sora Natural from our friend Israel De Gefa in Ethiopia. So let's go in. If you're doing this at the same time, drinking the coffee at the same time as watching this, I just want you to spend a minute just smelling, because it smells phenomenal. The aromas are amazing. And it's just the biggest hit of blueberry. It's juicy, it's kind of covering the mouth, it's sweet, but it's got that real kind of fruit sweetness. The sweetness that you would get from a blueberry. It is just a cup of blueberry juice. Great mouthfeel to it. The aftertaste just carries on and on. But I can't think of anything but blueberry. It is just blueberry pie, blueberry juice, blueberry. Delicious coffee. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Thank you very much for joining me, as always. And do remember, life is too short for bad coffee.